Hi guys, hope you're well. Today I had a few scraps left on my desk from making this little puffy pendant from the Cernit Pearl black and white blended. If you haven't seen it, it's probably the video before this one in the playlist. So I had some scraps left, so I thought I would have a little play. So I've got a square of black, a square of white. This square is half black, half white, and this square is 2/3 black, 2/3 white. So I've got a bit of a gradient, if you like, running through. And what I'm going to do is just make a quick, simple Mokume Gane, because when I was doing the little marbling thing that I did, I just thought to myself, oh my god, this is going to make an amazing Mokume Gane using these pearl effects. Now of course I've done it with metallics before, guys. Again, I'll leave a little link up here to some of the metallic Mokume Ganes that I've done. But what I thought I would do is just do a small little piece of Mokume Gane. And while I was tidying up some findings the other day, I found these. So I thought what I would do is maybe put a small piece of it in these, and then I'll just make some sort of pendant as well. Just a quick video using up scraps basically, guys. So I'm not too sure which way I want to do it. Don't want the white pushing through, or I don't want the black. I think I'll go back to front and I'll put black on the bottom, followed by the next shade, followed by the lighter shade, followed by the white. And I'm just going to roll this once, and it is a tiny block, guys. I think that's my 1.5 inch square that I've used. It is. I just used this little 1.5 inch square to cut the scraps out, and they're on a 2 setting, by the way. So I'm just going to give this a little roll. I'll just flip it so that I know that the top and bottom are catching up the same. Oh, and I'm picking specks up already. It's the only thing I've noticed with this. It's not super sticky, even though it is really fresh clay. But I am getting little flecks collecting. Where's my blade? So I'm just going to cut this and stack one stack, and then I'll just roll it out again. And like I said, guys, it's a tiny, tiny, tiny piece. So I've got a small bit over here, which I think I might just put a slither on to put in there. And I don't know whether to do some slithers or not. I'll just give this a little roll, make sure that back's caught up, and I think I might poke in from the back and then flip it over and cut that way. So what patterns do I want to do? Decisions. Maybe just put some lines through. Where's my metal ruler? There it is. I think I'll put some lines through. I'm just using my metal ruler, guys, and I always do it on a bit of an angle. Just put some lines through initially, and maybe I'll just poke a couple of divots in between the lines, just some odd divots like this. Don't want to put too much of a pattern in, I just want a bit of something different. Just get my thick doodads, just push this back together with these. Look how tiny this block is. It's such a tiny block. Of course guys, that's all the scraps I had, so I didn't want to open another pack just yet. Okay, and I'm going to flip this and I'm going to slice from this side. Okay, let's find my super sharp blade wherever I put it. There it is. And I'll just cut a couple of slithers off initially. You know what, I'm not the biggest fan of doing this slithery thing, am I? Let's pop that there. Oh, look at that. Pop that there. I'm just going to push this back up. I might just, in fact, let's see if I can cut a big slither off. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, not brilliant, is it? Let's pop that back on. And I'll continue just cutting slithers, guys. Rather than taking big chunks. It's working out better that way, isn't it? There we go, and I can use some of those other pieces for backing, etc. Okay, I quite like the look of that. Oh, and I've just ripped it and I like the look of it even better now. So let's get rid of that scrap. I think I'll pop this slither onto this. Let's do it that way. And we'll give that a burnish. And I'll use this in one of my doodads. Right, let's give it a roll first. Let's get it something like, just move some of these out of the way, guys, and I can roll better. Let's get my 3mm ones and let's just get this even-ish before I do anything else. And now we'll give it a burnish. I think I'm going to have to roll that out a bit thinner. There we go, it just wasn't quite blending. Sorted. In fact, that would probably fit in there now, wouldn't it? Maybe get both into it. Let's have a see. What I'm going to do, guys, is just going to push this in. Let's do it there, then I catch most of that white. I'm just going to push this in and then cut it out. Then I can pop that shape into here. Where's my blade? And if you're not very good at cutting out, you might have a cut. Oh, neither am I with the looks of it. You may have a cutter that fits into your cabochon mould. I don't, I checked. But we can smooth it out a bit. I'm not the best at freehanding things, guys. but there's ways around it, isn't there? You know, this will smooth out quite nicely in there now, I should think. I'll pop that to one side, maybe use it as a bit of backing. Let's get this picked up. Let's get them scraps out the way. Let's get that as close to that edge as possible, because we can always manipulate it a bit once it's in, like so. Let's give it a roll to stretch it. There we go. As I've said, you can work around these things, guys, once you've got your piece in. You know, just manipulate it to the edge, smooth it round. I used to use these with you know, the glass. You can buy a glass cabochon, can't you, that a glass cabochon bead that sits on the top of it. And I've done it with acrylic skins, you know, acrylic paint skins, and little bits of mixed media and stuff. I used to make them and then donate them to the cats group that I'm a part of, so they could make a bit of money with the jewellery. I'm just going to pop this piece of paper over. It's a bit fiddly, but let's give that a burnish. I will probably top this with a varnish or a resin, guys, to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. But I just want to make sure that it's nice and flat, and it isn't quite. I can see a little ripple there. I'm just going to get my roller and see if I can sort that little ripple out. Probably better if I stuck this to my desk with a bit of blue tack, wouldn't it? You're probably all shouting at the screen, aren't you? Why didn't you just do that, Kath? But you know me, I do things my own way, be it the awkwardest way or the best way. Right, now I'm going to let that sit a minute, and I am going to give it a wipe, but got kind of a cool effect there. The shades are very similar, guys. You know, if you use different colours, obviously you'd get a different effect. So that's that piece. Let's pop that to one side. And we've got a couple of interesting bits. That's quite an interesting bit, isn't it? Wonder if we can get this. Let's roll this out and see if we can get it to fit into this cabochon. Oh, sticking. Give my roller a wipe. Okay, just gonna roll that a little bit, and I think I'd like to catch one of those little eyes in, but I don't think it will. Let's just, I'm just gonna pop that there, give it a little push to get the shape. I've not quite got the shape that end because of the bail, so I'm just going to turn it round and do that to help me. Again, whip around with my blade. I suppose you could sacrifice a couple of these and cut the bail off, couldn't you? And then it would just act like a cutter. And I will be a little bit more careful with this one, guys. Let's follow that line around. Almost cut through this one, so it's a bit easier to sort out. There we go. Put them scraps to one side. Just catch that edge with my nail. It's not too much. Get this picked up. And let's pop it in here. Oh, sticking to my fingers. I've got the heater on. It's quite warm. Not quite got it in the correct position, but it'll do. Because as I've said, we can manipulate it a little bit with our fingers. I'll just pop it down, it's easier that way, and give it a little run around with my finger, make sure it's up to that edge. And this one's a bit thinner than that one, so I'm not going to be able to use my roller, but I think I can use a little, just a bit of paper to smooth it. Again, it's not going to be perfect, I know, the surface that is, but there will be nothing stopping me topping it with some varnish or the such. Okay, so we've got them two. Quite interesting, aren't they? Right, let's have a see what we can do with these pieces. I think because they're so thin, I think what I'll go and do, guys, is I'll just go and condition these bits of scraps with some black. Then I've got a decent backing to lay these on. So I'll go and just do that, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay guys, I've got some I just mixed the scraps we had with some black bits of black that was on my desk. So we've got this nice silvery grey. It does add a lovely spark. In fact, let me pick this up and show you. If you've got any bits of scraps on your desk, if you mix it in with the clay, get a very subtle sparkle in whatever colour you're doing. So it would jazz up some of your scraps as well. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got. Got this piece here. Let's just pop that there. And this piece here. What's it like on the other side? I think I'll just pop that over there so that those lines kind of match up. And then what about this piece? Maybe we could just do this piece as a standalone piece, or we could pop it up here to look more busy. I'm just going to take that little feather scrap off because it's bugging me. And I think I'll lay this piece here. In fact, this is why I don't like doing this technique. I am so annoyed. I get so annoyed that pieces don't match up and don't look even. If I pop that there, it'll match reasonably well, won't it? Yeah, bit anal, guys. That's why popping these bits down like that sometimes just doesn't wash with me. I don't like that they look disjointed on and stuff. Just giving this a little roll to get everything the same height. And I think let's try with the 6mm. Nope. Let's get the 4.5. Just want to make sure that it's all the same height. Nope. 3 it is. Where's my 3s? Still got such a croaky throat, guys. There we go. Nice and bonny. Right. What shall we do with this? I don't rightly know. I'm really loving my diamond shapes at the minute, guys, which you can probably tell, can't you, with what I've been making. I think I'll use this because I can just catch that bit there like so. Okay, let's do this diamond shape. Take them end pieces up. Nice bit of sparkly scrap for backings there. I'll just run my nail around while it's on my desk. So I think I'll dome this a little bit. Oh, got a little nick there. Okay, let's get one of my egg poachers out. Get this picked up. Oh, not burnished it, have I? Do you know? So when I've rolled it, my brain doesn't compute that I need to burnish it. But I will burnish it, guys, because then I'll get a really good finish on it. I may need to recut it in a sec. Sorry. Queen of Faff strikes again. I'm not putting a load of pressure on, guys. I'm just making sure that that surface is lovely and burnished. Okay, beautiful. Now I may just have to sneak back in with my cutter if I've distorted that a little. And it was just a little bit, if you can see, it's a little bit there and a little bit there. Again, just run around with my nail, make sure those edges are nice and clean before I pick it up. Da, da, da. There we go. Just pop you on there, and I'll probably put a bail on the back of this, guys. Do you know what would be nice if it was? No, I'll dome it. Stop faffing and changing your mind. Yeah, I will probably put a tube bail on the back of this, guys. You've seen me do it loads before. I just wrap a little bit of clay around that tiny bit of acrylic rod I've got, and attach it to the back about 15 minutes into baking. So I'll probably do that off camera. Just clean that edge up from crumbs, make sure it's nice and pretty. Again, I know, guys, I harp on about it, but seriously, a couple of seconds just doing this saves all that hard work when it comes out the oven. There we go. Okay, so we've got that nice little domed Mokume pendant, and we've got these little bits here which would, you know, for scrap busting and stuff, guys, perfect thing to do, isn't it? I shall pop these in the oven. See you when they're baked. See you in a minute. Hi guys, we're at the oven. There's the diamond pendant. It's quite funky. Obviously need to polish. And I just put a little tube on the back as I normally do. And here's the little pendants. Again, I am going to possibly, in fact I think I will, UV resin those. So I'll go and give this a buff with my DREMEL. I'll just tidy these edges up a little bit with my nail file, give it a buff with my Dremel, coat these with some resin. See you in a min. Hi guys, all done. Here's the main pendant. Beautiful shine on that. And just look at the shimmer with that pearl. It's beautiful, isn't it? So there's the pendant, nice and bonny. And here are the little cabs. Black one and the silver one. I'm going to have to give this one another coat because I've just caught it there on that edge as I was putting it in. But what I'll do is I'll just sand it back and then put another coat on top. But I'll do that later. But you can see there that and that. So there we go guys, just playing with a few scraps from the pearl, making a nice Mokume Gane. I hope you enjoyed that. Something to do with your scraps, I suppose. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.